so hard to leave it alone. Pussy got me weak, but you know I'm going strong. Girl, you got me in my zone. Girl, you got me in my zone. I'ma do all the things that I never said to you. Don't act like I'm never there, I'm there for you. And you know what it is when I slide late night. Don't wanna hear no shit, just tell me it's mine. But I gotta go leave when it gets that time, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh, I know
What's
that
good,
you
everybody?
got me,
It's Dormville, STS Sundays. I'm Lofty Akeem. I go by that now, and I'm here with my co-host.
The Joker, obviously, bro. If we're changing names, I'm fucking what's his name? Somebody Phoenix. Joaquin
Phoenix.
My new name is Joaquin Phoenix, also aka
Congratulations
Backstage
on your Oscar, by the way.
Thank you. AKA Backstage Phantom, AKA Sterling K. Brown, AKA Mansa Musa, AKA
Mansa
the nigga that's
Musa.
eating out your refrigerator, AKA please refill your refrigerator.
Sick. I wish I want nicknames. Wait, I got a list actually.
Nah, bro, what the fuck?
I got a list actually. I came up with it.
I need you guys to
months
know
ago.
that this man just grabbed an iPad just to.
Dang it, I lost it. Whatever. It's fine,
bro. If you were like me, you could get those hoes off rip. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I didn't have it practiced. Also,
rip.
most of your names are not copyrighted,
Yeah, see.
but
You know what I'm saying?
they're not yours. So
AKA niggas off the dome. AKA you already know what's going on. AKA
I flexing freestyle skills. So like our first topic is, can rappers be saved?
go to church.
And
Jesus walks.
indeed, like shout outs Kanye West, the saved man. But no, like rappers, I say this because rappers have a lot of like toxic behaviors. Like we see a lot of them, they go on their lives and like they're doing a lot of like drugs to like an extent where it's dangerous. We have a lot of like hospital scares. Like Lil Wayne, like late 2019 had like a seizure scare, and then
He
like
had multiple seizures. His
multiple
entire career.
yeah, and like who again earlier last year, famous Dex fell asleep on his life like in drug induced like coma, and it's like again of course Juice World,
Lil Peep.
yeah, Lil Peep, you know. So it's like I want to ask, like, as a fan, is it possible to save these rappers from themselves?
Bro, I don't know. Like to me, it's like it's two types of. I don't want to say two. There are two categories that have subcategories. Not to like, marginalize niggas, but it's like you have people like Denzel Curry and shit like that, and like man made a whole fucking song about like, yo, y'all niggas need to stop drinking lean and stop like it was like you just need to stop doing perks. Lil Peep died, ain't shit changed. And like it turns into like, I mean, yeah, your fans are there for you, but like you can get so many niggas reaching out to you like, bro, I love your music, but it's like some of them niggas are like either one running away from some shit, like they just don't go to therapy. I don't know. Maybe their music is not therapeutic for them. Maybe they're just like out here doing what the fuck ever. But it really turns into like, I don't think that somebody's fans can really just be like, hey, you need to change. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I should stop taking, X amount of perks a day, or, fucking going off on Xans every time I wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, everywhere I go, there needs to be like X amount of cups of lean type shit. Like, it really turns into like, damn, they have to want that shit for themselves, or have to be people that like do something that like expels all that like negative behavior, if that makes sense.
But as a fan, I feel like you can throw in that incentive for them to change. I don't know, like you could start by boycotting their music, saying that like, yo, I'm not gonna, if you keep on doing this, then I can't support you. I'm not gonna fund your drug issue.
Yeah, but like think about who their fans are. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're making like party drug induced music, you're not gonna be like, your fans more than likely, I'm not gonna say they're not, but more than likely the fans aren't gonna be people that are listening to music and being like, damn bro, he's really fucked up, like we should probably help him. It's like, yeah bro, you wanna fucking party bro? Like it's just like
True.
It's like it's very commercial music, or it's becoming obvious like pop music. Like you don't like no one was really listening to like what pop singers were saying in 2010s, 2006. I think that's when Britney Spears was popping off. I just know that like Toxic was that was a song. But like, you know what I'm saying, like you can't say that they're fan, or I don't want to say you can't, but I imagine their fans won't care because their fans aren't there for the betterment of those artists. Like, you have an artist like, I keep bringing up Denzel, but like Denzel is like, if he just started going off some nut shit, like everyone would be like, yo, what the fuck going on? Like, yo, like no one would be okay with that shit because like he has fans that are dedicated to him and he has fans that are like willing to reciprocate and talk to him. Like, people like IDK's fans are willing to sit there and talk to him and have real conversations. But it's like, you have dudes that are just like out here casually just like fucking up their bodies. Their music is being distributed to like young kids who don't know shit, who don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, back when I worked at freaking MTC over the summer, like, there was this kid had to been like, not even like, he had to been in elementary school, and he was like asking like, do you have XXX and Touch Young? And I was like, huh? I was like, what? Like, bro, can you spell? Like, do you know what? How many fingers do you have, young man? Like, count
what's
for
X
me.
saying that's relating to you?
Yeah, it was just kind of like it was just kind of like those are the people that are buying that music, and then it's also people who are like doing shit that it's like they're not gonna be talking to people like, hey, you need to get better. It's like,
but I mean, like, there is a counter argument to that. Like, there are like people who are mega stars whose like fans like would care if they started messing up. Like, I remember when Justin Bieber was messing up, you had these like girls willing to like slit their wrists for him to stop.
But okay, I'd say that's way different though, because it's like, you remember in high school, whenever like what's that, fucking One Direction, whenever they broke up, and like females were all in the hallways like crying at lunchtime and shit. So it's like, that's like mega stardom, or like mega stardom in like a boy band sense, because like obviously my thing is, what if like Ari Lennox really just went off and was just like, fuck this, I'm just gonna drown myself in Hennessy. Like, no man is going to, we're just gonna be like, all right, well, that's crazy, we just gonna go ahead and go on to the next. Like, and then like no little boy is like, Ari, please, Miss Lennox, don't do it. Like, it's really on some like.
But Ari hasn't really given people a reason to like care.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll give you that. Like, her lives are ridiculous. That's a different topic. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's like both of those acts, like Justin Bieber, the reason girls were like ready to do all that stuff for him, and the reason like girls were in the hallway crying for freaking One Direction, was because they were marketed towards like little girls. And so those little girls had already been like, well, I'm gonna marry Justin, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna marry this one and that one, and I'm gonna do all these things. And it's like, they had cutout boards and all this other shit. Like, yo, like no like 13, 14-year-old was like, I'm gonna marry Juice WRLD. Like, I mean, I'll say that there's people out there that say shit like that, and like they're like
they're the minority, like in the corner.
That's a very like small group, and they say things like that out of like, most of them are older, so it's not that blind following. It's just like, oh, he's rich and he's attractive, and if that's what they're attracted to or whatever, it's like whatever they find interesting or whatever they like about that person. And so it's just kind of like, they're not necessarily over here like too worried about their well-being. They're out here for, I imagine, the money.
So like, in order for this to even work, in order for fans to even get to even like start to care and go like, hey, Future, you should stop doing. He doesn't do lean anymore.
Yeah, I will say Future. Yeah. Future is good at all the women though belong to the streets.
Exactly. Bro, I love that. I love that whole narrative behind him, bro. But like,
belong to the streets.
Father Future. But like, hey, this rapper. So in order to get fans to like, go like, hey, you're messing up. Like, what can we do? Something. The rapper has to cultivate like an image of, I don't know, relatability or like.
Yeah, I would say so. Cause like, could you imagine if J. Cole just like stepped out and was like, "Yes, I am a heroin addict." Like niggas would not know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the the world would stop. But you know, like if Cole came out and he was like, "Hey, I'm battling with," or I can't even say he wouldn't like. He would come out like him would come out like he would come out and say, "I'm battling with this addiction," and then everyone would assume Cole's trying to get better if he's come out and said that. But let's say like Cole was Cole, and then tomorrow he like gets on live and he's just like he pops like a perky or whatever, and he's like just then next day he gets on live and then he's like, bro, I'm gonna fuck up and go off these Zans. He's just like off 3 Zans or whatever, and then like it just becomes a continuous behavior and pattern. Like I feel like in those lives, most people would be sitting there like, "Yo, what's going on? Like, yo, stop that! You're too good for this." Like that. Like he's cultivated a fan base of people who are one conscious, for lack of a better term, and then 2 care about him. You know what I'm saying? Like no one like you listen to like what's that? What's his name?
What are you saying?
Bro, I don't know.
No.
Fuck. I lost it, bro. I lost it. But like, let's say you like, you listen to Lil Peep, you listen to Juice WRLD, you listen to like I would say Lil Tecca, but he's like 16 or some shit.
Yeah.
Or what's the fucking Tekashi Sig? No. What's the fuck? Lil Pump. Oh my god.
Lil Pump.
Bro,
Okay.
I was really like, bro, that's not that kid's name. But
It's okay. He fell off anyway, but
yeah, but it's like you listen to their music, you don't expect an intelligent, like well spoken, or you don't expect an individual behind that like mask and behind that music to be someone that you care about. You know what I'm saying? Like that person couldn't be your cousin, that couldn't be your neighbor, that couldn't be like that person is just
this zany character.
Yeah, it's like how Boom Gang was. It was just like nobody like you can't relate to that person, and that's why no one wants to like be like, "Hey, stop that." It's like, well, you have ascended past like the average person or like the relatable person, and now you've hit the point of like, well, why the fuck do I care about you? Like you're in a different category, and for those people, it's seen as stardom, lets you do whatever, but it's like, nah, it's the fact that you have let these people go into a space where they can do whatever the fuck they want because they're starred.
When it comes to druggy rappers, it's like it's really hard because like you said, it's like with a Lil Pump or something like that. It's like they give you no reason to care, or like a Lil Uzi.
I'll say like I wouldn't call them druggy rappers, is because like think about like Flatbush Zombies, like they are they've created a base, like their marketed base is like more or less drug addicts, like but they do like psychedelics and shit like that, and so it's like, but they always at the end of like if they talk about drugs or they like say anything about it, it's like, hey, you need to be doing this safely. They've provided at some point, I imagine they had to have provided like, this is how you do things safely. But like anytime that they talk about drugs, it's like hey, do it safe. Don't be a fucktard. Like you need to make sure. So it's like you can be a druggie, but I don't know what to call those people. Like they're not it's not that they're superstars.
Yeah, I like who are you talking, like Lil Pump? Or?
Yeah, like all those people that it's like no one like they're just non-relatable. Like because it's like everyone has a cousin or everyone knows somebody that's just like, oh yeah, like I know this guy that does psychedelics, or I know this guy that smokes hella weed or whatever. But like, and the zombies are fine. Yeah,
I was gonna say I feel like with the zombies, it's like they don't come off as like junkies. They're just like more like drug enthusiasts.
Yes.
So
okay. Yeah.
It's like, but with like a Lil Pump, it comes off as a junkie because like. Honestly, like with all you see with Lil Pump is you just see the drugs. You just see him like high. You see him like off of lean. But with like Flatbush Zombies, you just see like a group of chill dudes who happen to do drugs, but you see the people first,
right?
Before you see like them just high and doing stuff.
Yo, but like, I think if the people that get signed to labels and shit, like obviously like, they have their A&R to like help with imaging and all that other stuff, but. Excuse me. You have people like there's people set up in these like labels that can assure sustainability in an artist, and sometimes they just don't. Like, it's kind of like the whole why do people listen to some female rappers and why don't they listen to others? Like, some of them you can't relate to. There's like, like the rap game is like, obviously it's flooded with men, so obviously it's going to be predominantly male. But then when you throw women in there, it just turns into, this is a whole new conversation. But you know what? It's fine. But like, you know, once you throw women into the conversation, it's kind of like, okay, is she relatable? Can she be my cousin? Can she be my sister? Can she be my aunt? Can she be my neighbor? Can she be my friend? And then it's like, rappers are the same way. You know what I'm saying? There can still be like a drugged up female version of any one of these rappers.
Right.
And she can still sell records, but...
Because that's an experience that like everybody can relate to.
And so, but like, I feel like the hard part about it is like, not everyone can relate. Like when a female rapper comes out, the demographic that they choose to like run after are other females. Yeah. And it's like, women are mean, bro. They're like, it's like, dudes are competitive, but like women are mean. Like,
they can go straight for like your ego. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. But like, it just turns into like, it's a different game. It's like, I feel like to market, I don't know how I got off on this tangent, but like to market like a female rapper and to market a druggy rapper is like, I don't know, like not a druggy. I guess that's the terminology we're gonna have to use. Because there's no, I don't know, there's not a real category.
It's like, now that I say it sounds like offensive, but like,
right,
they don't care,
bro. But like, it's just, to market a little pump is so much easier, but it's not sustainable. But like, and then to market like a female rapper is like, to me it seems very simple and very easy.
I mean, with a female rapper versus like a druggy rapper, a female rapper, it's like it's a lot more formless than like a druggy rapper. A druggy rapper is kind of like set in stone. It's like after the gimmick of like, I'm Lil Pump, I do hella drugs, like fades away. It's like, you can't really turn that into something else. You have to like basically start from this ground up again. But if you have like a female rapper, there's so many more attributes that you can take away and add to that, like their career is more sustainable than a druggie.
Bro, but like my thing is like, I feel like what labels are like, what I assume females end up doing if they're independent is like, they pick this one lane and then they're like, it's this or bust. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, nah, shawty, like you get to pick like 6 lanes and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like you have people like London B, and then there was someone else I was about to bring up. But like with London B, it's like she's like New York grimy. She's a mom, and so it's just like she grabbed both of those lanes and decided, you know what, like I could be a goon and a bad bitch at the same, like a mom and a bad bitch at the same time, and it's just like, okay, go off. And it's
that's
just like
2 relatable things right there, and they're hella moms out there who want to do that. To have somebody go out there and it's like, yo, you can be both. It's like, that's a lot of money right there. That's cash.
That's facts. But like, I don't like. It's just, there are other people that like, and then you look at Young M.A, Young Ma. It's just like, okay, like she's very masculine, but like she could rap her ass off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she can rap, and so it's like female rappers that can rap, and it's like male rappers that if you can rap, bro, like it's all about just marketing and branding. But they kind of like makes me want to jump into a whole like different topic, bro. Like fucking media training. Like people get mad that like some like performers are like media trained and they don't want to talk, or like they answer in specific ways and shit like that. But it's like, how do you like? Would you prefer to interview, or to at least just to watch an interview, or just in general, would you prefer a media trained artist or a non-media trained artist?
I'd prefer a media trained artist. Like, I don't understand why people get mad at like media. Like when Joe Budden says like, "Oh, you're so media trained." Like, I don't understand like why that's a problem, because like most rappers that nowadays I see, like, when they do interviews, they don't know how to talk. Like they just come. Yeah, so like when I made that song, I was just, and it's like it's so annoying to listen to. It's like it's
Right.
way more refreshing when like you hear a guy who's able to just like articulate himself properly, like a Kanye. Like he doesn't like slur his words.
Yeah.
He doesn't slur his words at all. He's not like sound dead inside or whatever. It's just
But I
like
feel like
it's,
that's just him. I don't think that's media. Like, I mean, I imagine at one point he was. But
yeah,
like, I'm trying to like. There's like Yachty. Yachty's not terrible. Like if he wants to be there, he's not terrible. If he doesn't want to be there, then it turns into some fucking low energy shit.
yeah.
Which I imagine is with anybody. But like fucking me, I feel like media trained artists are like more. I don't know. Like I feel like you're not getting obviously the raw, and I feel like that's what Joe talks about. But we've had like obviously the people that we talk to aren't media trained, and so it's like it's real common sense shit to like be able to get on a podcast, get on a radio show, get on whatever you get on, and like speak properly. And then there's just niggas that are just genuinely ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we've had an interview where it's just like, hey, can you speak up? Like, come.
Yeah,
Can you,
or
like,
just like
speak into the mic, sir. Thank you.
like enunciate a little bit, just open your mouth slightly.
And I mean, like, there's some people where I'm like, oh, that's obviously like a regional thing or some shit like that. But then there's like niggas where it's like, dog, like, fuck,
Yeah,
you just don't know how to speak. Like, you just genuinely don't know how to talk, and that's ridiculous. But like, kind of going, not backtracking, but like, I don't know. Do you think so? Like, whenever they get media trained, it's more than like a simple, oh, this is what you do when someone asks you a question, you don't answer these questions, and the blah blah blah, or it turns into like, hey, this is how you need to like be on social media.
like I would like for them to be like, as far as media training goes, I would like for them to still be authentic but be able to like articulate their message. Thinking back to it, I understand what Joe Budden is saying as in how like they've turned into pseudo politicians,
Right.
and that like if you ask them a question they kind of like dance around it a little bit, or in Drake's Rap Radar interview how he like just talks a lot but ends up saying nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
but okay, with that, I feel like that's just kind of like that might be him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we know people that just like sit there and will drag on a sentence. And
Yeah, for sure.
What did you say in these 5 minutes of talking to me that like you've done nothing but waste my time? And I feel like that's just people. But I feel like kind of going to like what I said earlier was like on Ari Lennox, like her live is, I don't understand it. Like I don't any like people. I mean, granted, I won't sit there and watch a full live, and I don't know. I genuinely don't enjoy watching people go live.
Yeah.
But like, it turns into like watching her shit go. Like whenever people like clip it and put it on Twitter, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
It kind of looks like she just turned on the phone and just started talking.
yeah, and it's like, but it's she's not. I don't want to say she's rude, or she has a level of like, this is like you're ruining your stardom for yourself. And I mean, that kind of goes back to like making people relatable. Like, yeah, she's relatable, but she seems like the girl in high school that was popular, and that's why people watch the live.
Yeah.
And she can get away with what she wants.
Like, it's one thing to be authentic, but you can definitely acknowledge that you have personality characteristics that you need to fix and work on. Like, if you just come off as like a rude, I'm not gonna swear, it just come off as rude, like,
Right.
or arrogant or something like that. Like, that's like, yeah, it's you or whatever, but it's something that you can still fix. You're not being inauthentic by going like, oh, okay, maybe my tone is coming off a little strong here. I can work on that.
I don't even think it's that. It's just kind of like, for example, like she just I don't know. She just like, yeah, she reminds me of a, like, again, like a high school popular girl that's just like, I can lay down, and like she was like talking shit about someone in one of the lives, and I was just like, she was like, get out of here. Oh, hello, Mr. Chocolate Man. I was just like, okay. And then she like, probably, what was the one I can't remember the one I watched last week, but I like didn't finish it because it was just like, they're not. It's not entertaining clips. It's not her like talking about her life. It's not her like going out and doing things. It's not her like. it's like her in her room, more than likely like naked in her bed or doing like whatever, walking around her house, and it's just like, okay, cool, that's fine. I'm okay with you being in your home, but like just the way that she speaks to the chat, or like the way that she presents herself as like, we're not doing this, or like, oh, the freaking, it was when someone was, I think it was Whitney Houston, someone was talking shit about Whitney Houston. They were like how she wasn't like the greatest singer ever, or no, Beyonce. It was Beyonce, bro. That was the. This is such a long-winded way to get to something, but like, she was like, you can never discredit Beyonce. She did this, 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 and this. And I was just like, and she was like, if you ever say that she's not the best singer ever, I can just, and I was just like, the fuck? Like,
yeah. The small, like, you're worried about that one little comment about Beyonce, and you're willing to like risk your entire image to cape for Beyonce. Like I get it. Beyonce's a sacred name in certain communities, but it's just like, if I were like in her position, I would just go like, you know what you're talking about, like.
Right. It's just, I don't know. Like, my thing is, and she was like, I've been listening to Beyonce since I was like in first grade. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, yes, I enjoy Beyonce's music. I think she's a phenomenal singer. She's a phenomenal performer. She's good at what she does. But it's just like, yo, if somebody's like says some shit like, oh, this person is better than Beyonce, you can be like, oh, well, this is why I believe Beyonce is better. Like, it turned into her arguing at a screen.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, what the fuck are you doing, dog? Like,
that's usually clown stuff. Like when you're like yelling on Instagram Live, like that's when you just like, I don't know. That's when I lose respect for you.
Bro, it's just like, my thing is, none of her lives they don't add anything to make me want to listen to her music. Like, my thing is, she has a beautiful singing voice. I love when she's a feature, but I'm never gonna want to listen to an Ari Lennox project because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like everything. Like if she comes off as like sort of like calm and just like like non-reactive to stuff like in her music, it just seems like inauthentic at that point, because like you see her on her live just like doing the complete opposite.
It's just like the way Rihanna built herself was just like, she was like Jay-Z's like little prodigy or whatever, and Rihanna can do whatever the fuck she wants and everyone's gonna like praise her as a queen. Like, I feel like Ari is like jumped into like assuming, I don't even want to say because she knows that she's not there yet, and she like is real humble about shit like that. But she's very like, I don't know how to explain it. She's just very popular. I get like, that's the comparison that that's the only thing I can like draw to her, is the popular girl in high school who can do whatever she wants. You know what I mean? It's just like, she's like, there's no repercussions for her saying just dumb shit. It's like, if like a fraternity or sorority person ended up posting alcohol and drugs on their story, like, no, they cannot, like, you're not supposed to do that. You get fined, reprimanded, however, like their chapters or whoever decides to do that. And it's like, they know that they can't do that. She knows that she can do that, and so she goes ahead and does it. You know what I'm saying? So
do you think labels should have, or A&Rs are part of labels, right? Yeah. Okay, so do you think like labels should have more of like a stronghold on how their artists like present themselves?
I wouldn't say how they present themselves, because it's just kind of like, when an A&R decides to start working with an artist, it's like, okay, hey, how are we going to market you? And it's like, you take what you already have. If you wanted Ari Lennox to be the brat, you know what I'm saying? If you wanted that to be her, like who she is and whatnot, then like, that's how you market her. That's how you put her out there. Like, if you know she's going to get on live and you know she's going to argue with people and you know she's going to act like a child, then you market her like that.
So work with the artist to sort of like, don't fight the current.
Yeah. Because like, my thing is, I would never, like, granted, I don't follow her like religiously. I just see what I see, and it's like, they try to kind of paint her in this like regal sense, if that makes, like, you know what I mean? Like, when she's just always like, oh, like, I'm regal cocoa butter. Like, that's the image that I've been has been painted for me. And it's like, you are not regal cocoa butter. Like, you're not like this black queen that is like all about like, yes, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard. We're pushing ourselves. Like, we're doing all these things. And I mean, like, obviously, I don't expect her to be perfect. Like, bro, fuck up, dog. Like, Michael Jackson had a kid off a balcony. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's room for fuck ups. And maybe that's just what this is. Like, she's still growing into the stardom or something.
But it's like, how many of those can you get before the label's like, all right, we're kind of losing money by you doing this. You need to, like...
I don't think that they're losing money. Because...
Well, I mean, they lost your listen. Like, imagine how many
true.
other people that potential listeners that she's deterred through her lives or, like, drama that she's created on, like, the internet.
And then my thing is, no one... Like, I've yet to see a clip of Ari Lennox just doing... good things or doing whatever, like good PR. I've never seen a clip of good PR for her. I've only seen like people clipping her IG live and painting her as this like this child. I get like, bro, it's never a good picture. It's never like, oh, that was cool, that was a good quote, or like
before the whole dog thing. Like, I remember like people like spoke highly of Ari Lennox, like just based off of her talents and like her work and stuff. Yeah, then weren't people like comparing her to like a dog, and then like that's how this whole IG live stuff started because like of her reaction to that.
I don't remember that.
No,
maybe I do.
This was like months ago.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. I have a very short memory. What I ate for dinner, couldn't tell you. I think I had cereal last night. I'm glad that people know.
Yeah.
Please donate to our podcast.
So we can afford like steak dinners. Maybe not steak dinners.
I just want a piece of fruit, dog. I just
don't
want scurvy.
Shoot, yeah, I do have strawberries in the fridge now.
Must be nice. I've been eating like hella almonds, pistachios, getting back on my healthy shit.
That's good. Fats are good for you.
Yeah. That's all. I'm glad that that's.
Yeah,
I'm glad
we made that into
the
the
conversation we're gonna have.
No, but like, okay, we started with the Ari Lennox dog thing. What was my next question? Oh yeah, should we bring Mystique back to like artists? Like, instead of like, I know we're moving towards authenticity right now, but like, should there still be an element of Mystique to artists, like a Kendrick or J. Cole, Frank Ocean even?
Yeah, I think yes. Just because like, you don't like, how many kids does J. Cole have?
We don't know.
2.
Oh, okay.
So like, that's just because like, you know, like, like it was just kind of like, I just know that because like I don't religiously follow. I don't even follow his like social media. He doesn't even use social media that much. But like, it's just like he says very small things in his music that like, I think he has 2. I know he at least has 1. I'm pretty sure that he said he had a kid on the way at one point after the second or after the first one was born. But like, no one knows what his kids are doing. No one knows how old they like. I mean, people probably know how old they are, but like, no one knows what schools they go to. It's common knowledge where Blue Ivy goes to school. You can Google it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't know how many kids Childish Gambino has, but I know he has kids.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I think he has 2.
Yeah, I think it's 2 or 3. I know he has a girl. Yeah. That's all.
But it's just like, there's these people that like they're both of those men are extremely successful.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm saying, like, no one knows a whole lot about their personal life unless you are just digging in each and every crevices that you could possibly find.
Yeah. I find that though, like whenever they were younger, you find a lot more stuff on them. Like they did more interviews, they might have more videos out. But it's like,
I guess that's because like they were still early in their career rather than like J. Cole doesn't need to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Cole doesn't need to go to radio stations to like get play for his music. It's just like, I can release what I want when I want. Same with Bino. Like, he can be like, I release what I want when I want. Frank Ocean capitalized on that shit like a motherfucker. Like, people beg for his music.
Yeah. I don't even think he hasn't released an album since like Blonded, right? I don't know when that came out.
It came out in high school, I think.
It's crazy, and people are still like hype whenever he like drops something.
Yeah, and
it's like, how do you reach that status compared to like a Lil Pump or like a 6ix9ine? Like, I don't think 6ix9ine can ever go like can just stop making stuff and then
release something and
Yeah.
people care. It's kind of like old guys. Like did you listen to Snoop Dogg's last project?
no.
See, did you listen to who the fuck was the last year? There's somebody that I tried to listen to their like newest music, and I was like, what the fuck? Oh, fucking. No, never mind. I lost it. Bro, but like, there's older guys that like as much as Snoop is a legend and whatnot, like yeah, people are gonna listen to. He'll get streams off of it. You know, he's doing it for fun or sport. But the only old person, or I say old, these niggas are still in their 50s and 40s. And
Yeah.
shit. But like the only like old head that can like put whatever out, do zero promotion for it, and it still be fucking great is Jay-Z. But that's just because that nigga's immobile.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else has that level of star power that they could just.
Eminem.
But like I don't. Ooh, he released something like Kamikaze came out 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, I guess at this point.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know what came out before that.
I don't know. I know like people hated whatever came out before Kamikaze because Kamikaze was him defending that last album.
Yeah. And so
That was funny.
I think it's just kind of like it depends on their status in the rap game, if they or in music,
Or like how much respect they've garnered over like the years.
Yeah, but because like my thing is Frank dropped music, and then people asked for more, and he said, I don't know if that's when he said he was going on that break or whatever, and then it just disappeared, and people just kept begging for it and begging for it and begging for it, and then he dropped Blanc, and then niggas lost their fucking mind, and then people are begging for music, but like he's established a precedent of like you will get it when I decide that you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that can work for a lot of people. Because I don't know what Frank was doing before he was with Loud Future. Yeah, he was with Loud Future.
Yeah.
You know? Couldn't tell you what the man was doing before that. But because he could have been one of those niggas that were putting out music like once a month, like there was always a single or some shit, like you know what I'm saying. He could have been that person, or he could have always been this like slow, melodic, like methodical person that was just doing this. Honestly, I don't even think he's methodical. I think he just man could probably have like 4 albums done like right now and just be like, I'll drop
It's
this whenever.
like rent to do. There you go.
Bro, he's just like, I need a little bit of money. I wonder what he does just like on a daily basis.
It's like we'll never know. It's like I don't follow like creep shots, but like I don't see any like just random creep shots of him like walking around LA or wherever he lives.
Yeah. But I don't know, like I feel like that's just one of those things as an artist, they have to set the precedent of I'm not going to be a media savvy or media like frenzied, because Kendrick and Cole don't use Instagram, don't use Twitter, don't use whatever the fuck. They just kind of
They just change their profile pictures whenever like one of their collective like drops a project, and that's it.
And I guarantee you, they don't even run their own shit.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee someone has someone has the Cole account, and someone has like maybe they get on it and like music and follow people or whatever, just like because they want to, but they're not doing that shit just casual.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna wrap this up. Thank you everybody for listening. I'm Lofty Yakeem.
I'm Backstage Phantom, a.k.a. Mr. Steal Your Fridge, a.k.a. Mr. Please Put the Food in the Fridge, a.k.a. Please Donate because I need some fruit. I don't want to catch scurvy, a.k.a. The Mad Pirate Man. You're...
Hey.